the start. Baby, when you broke my heart, that I had to come again and show you that I'm winning. Your love of mine. All those times I said that I loved you. Your love of mine. Yes, I tried. Yes, I tried. Your love of mine. Even though you know I died for you. Your love of mine. Yes, I cried. Yes, I cried. Return of the man. Return of the man. Come on. Return of the man. Oh my God. Here I am. Return of the man. Once again. Return of the man. Top of the world. Return of the man. Watch my throne. Here I go. So I'm back up in the day. Running things to take my swine. Letting all the people know that I'm back to run the show. Cause what you did you know was wrong. And all the nasty things you done. So baby, listen carefully while I sing my comeback song. Your love of mine. She said she'd never turn on me. Your love of mine. But you did. But you did. Your love of mine. All this pain you said I'd never feel. Your love of mine. But I do. Return of the man. Return of the man. Hold on. Return of the man. Don't you know? Here I go. Return of the man. A little girl. Return of the man. Where's my pearl? Return of the man. Up and down. Round and round.
And Nasty. Host Randy Chevy and Sheldon Napastka guides you through great stories that spark great conversations. Two really big guys talking a big game. The boys are locked in and ready to go. Welcome to the ride.
And welcome back to the ride, everybody. Tuesday night, 10:30. And as always, joined by my co-hosts, Randy Chevrier. And Randy, what a weekend it's been. I don't know about you. This has been one of those busier times of the year that I wasn't really expecting. School strikes, kids are home. I had to run out and winterize my trailer. I watched zero sports, tried to keep up on everything because there's so much going on. But funny week.
Lots going on. Hey, tell me, what's that hat you're wearing? What is that?
This is my Kukanusa hat. That's where we keep our trailer. They have all kinds of merch that they sell out there every year. It's kind of a, I don't know, it's my heaven on earth. It's an awesome little spot. Kukanusa, if I haven't already said it, stands for Ku, the Kootenays, Canada, USA, USA. This is a big water reserve in the Kootenays that services both Canada and the States. It's pretty awesome. White sand beach is amazing.
So you were up there this weekend? Is that what you were doing?
Yeah, it's time to winterize the trailer. Like this is one of those funny years. Like usually we try to get down there for a week at a time, once or twice, and then some long weekends and things like that. This year I got down there twice. Like, and both
is that your trailer? Is that your trailer?
No,
is that just like
that's
a
random shot? I don't even know where Trey pulled that one from.
That's like Butte, Montana.
Yeah.
Is that Kukanusa or just Trey just pulled something up?
No, that's definitely that's not Kukanusa. It's all.
But you had your own. You had your own little fire. You had your own little fire, and you sent a picture in the chat the other night with the moon howling. Was that? Did you go up by yourself?
No, I went with Jamin again. Jamin's become my not only a listener, viewer of the show. He comes up and helps me winterize, or mostly comes up and drinks all my beer and eats my food and tells some stories in the truck on the road trip. But it's
see, you had a road dog.
Yeah, had a road dog for sure.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Good
In
stuff,
fact, last year, it's kind of the same time we went. And we got caught up on what was that? The Netflix NHL special with
what
was that called?
That's the one
Following
on
all
Prime.
the captains, and we watched like 4 of those episodes on the way up. This year was all Blue Jays. Listen on the radio.
Funny enough, you mentioned that. We're going to talk a little bit later about some big news in Edmonton Oil Country. Well, you know what? It is our 95th episode. And we're brought to you by Performance Freight Management, We Drone Real Estate Media, and YYC Business. It also happens to be Fire Prevention Week this week, Sheldon. That's a big week for me. You talked about a big week with the school strike and going up to Kukunusa. Same with me. Big weekend. I've been planning for this for a couple of months now with the fire department. It's the theme this year, I'm going to let everyone know, is charge into fire safety. So we're doing a lot on lithium ion battery safety. Now, in Calgary, it's not been as big an issue, but in larger metropolitan areas, lithium ion battery fires are causing lots of damage, from the e-scooters to the tablets to basically any sort of rechargeable portable electronic devices that we have are charged by lithium ion batteries, and they store up a lot of energy. If they get damaged or they're charged improperly, the fires on those are pretty ridiculous. Like, we have some video footage how quickly they'll get out of hand. It's not like a wood fire like you're burning at the campground, or even a building fire. When a lithium ion battery goes, it goes quick. It's full of a bunch of cells, and those cells are filled with chemicals, and when they react, they blow. And so it's been an emerging threat, emerging hazard. So this year, that's the theme. So just making sure that people charge their batteries safely. They buy proper certified products, and they make sure that they're not disposing them in the dumpsters or recycling, because that's where we're finding a lot of fires in Calgary. Can
a deadish battery cause that? Like,
a dead-ish battery can cause that, absolutely, because you don't know how dead-ish it is, and if there's enough I guess, charge in there and enough chemical in there to form even a minor thermal runaway, it can burn whatever is nearby and then start a larger fire. So this week, a lot of events. We had an open house. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, you were going to ask a question. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to point out that you notice, like if you've traveled, if you've flown in the last year or so, they've completely changed their policy on planes. Like, they bring it out right during the safety briefing. If you drop your phone between the seats during the flight, do not try to retrieve it. Instantly notify a flight attendant. Because I guess if they get caught in the seat, and especially guys, like, I feel like they're looking at me when they say that, you put a little weight in there, a little bit of metal on that thing, you bend that thing. I don't know if that helps them to catch on fire if you damage the casing, but
well, if you do damage, if they get punctured, they can flare up, absolutely. But the good thing is, on the flights now, especially WestJet, they don't recline anymore, so there's less chance of any punctures there. But if you can bring that picture up there, I just want to show something there. We have a bunch of events this week, and one of them being the open house. But that event there, you see the fire chief in the middle there cutting the cake. That's our newest junior fire chief, Riley Ostrowski. It's a partnership we do with the Alberta Children's Hospital, and this little guy is going to be our junior fire chief and doing a lot of fire prevention messaging, and he was a star. Like, I'm going to give a stud at the beginning of our show. He handled media inquiries and one-on-one questions, and he gave out fire safety messages. 8-year-old kid, and just did awesome today. But it's a big week for me. Lots of events. A little tired, not gonna lie, a little tired. I'm working lots of overtime this week, but that it's like our Super Bowl. It's a Super Bowl for community safety. So big day again tomorrow. We're doing some work at the Genesis Center up in the Northeast, and we got stuff going all the way through the weekend. So happy to take a little break from all of that and do the show on the 95th episode. Sheldon, do we got any good athletes for the 95th?
There's a couple up there.
Yeah, all defensive tackles. Richard Dent, Myles Garrett, and Chris Jones. All great players. Myles Garrett signed that big extension with Cleveland in the offseason when he almost had a contract holdout. He's a force to be reckoned with. I mean, he's playing with Cleveland, so I don't think he gets the national spotlight that he probably should get, but he's making the moolah. And then Chris Jones with the Chiefs. They're the lowly Chiefs these days. And yesterday, he probably provided the lowliest highlight as Trevor Lawrence of the Jaguars provided one of the greatest highlights in Jaguars' recent history with that, I believe it was a 1-yard touchdown run after he tripped by being stepped on by his offensive guard. Trevor Lawrence gets up and runs it in. Meanwhile, Chris Jones over here was just kind of watching. And for the amount of money he makes, having held out last year for about 3 or 4 games, I believe it was, or all of training camp at least, these are not last year's Chiefs. They are looking terrible. And, I'm not saying he's part of the problem, but yesterday he sure took a lot of flack for that last play. So not much going on in the 95 department. So I think with that being said, Sheldon, we might as well move along to our favorite part of the show, the 300-pound poetry, because we know that's what all you guys are waiting for that join us tonight. We do appreciate you joining us on the ride, but here we go, Sheldon. Let's get this thing ripping.
Let's go.
And now, 300-pound poetry with Chevy and Nasty.
If it's laughter and wisdom and rhymes that you seek, it's to ride with Chevy and Nasty and his Fire Prevention Week.
There you go. Vlad Guerrero had his moment in Game 2 with a Grand Slam home run. The series wasn't wrapped up tonight, but the Blue Jays are pretty darn fun.
Now, McDavid signed his extension, 2 more years with the oil. They're going to need a cup soon before his talents start to spoil. Or just
and VA, and VA lost his confidence, the Stamps, on a 3-game slide. The quarterback better find it quick, or they'll soon only be playing for pride.
Mark Sanchez beat up a trucker, then got stabbed in the altercation. Such a New York Jets thing to do. I hope he's enjoying incarceration. Oh, God.
Yeah, he's going down. We are Chevy and Nasty, back wherever you listen to your pods. We are 300-pound poets with damn sexy bods. I think we're sexy.
There you go.
We're sexy. You know what? But if I'm going to speak of bods, the one thing that doesn't give me a sexy bod, we love talking about food, Sheldon. This weekend, beyond the Fire Prevention Week, I had a quick rip up to Red Deer, actually Lacombe, to go visit Brittany and her family for a family birthday at the Cray Family Farms, little family area out there. And like I said, it was a quick rip because I had to get back at night for my son's hockey, and it was in between football, so it was super up and down week. But we had a nice dinner at a great local eatery. They've actually got one in Lacombe, one in Red Deer. It's called Cilantro and Chive, Sheldon. And for a couple of years since I've heard about this place, and since Brittany's heard about this place, she's wanted me to order this Caesar, Sheldon. And this Caesar is not just a drink. It's a drink. I don't know if you've ever seen these things out here, but it's a drink with a burger on it. Trey, pull up the picture.
That's the big thing these days. Yeah. Do you got a picture of it?
Yeah. We've got a picture.
Like Big Sky Barbecue and Okotoks, they're doing the same thing. Where basically it's a meal on top of your Caesar. Yeah, look at that. It's a salad with a burger.
Yeah, no, that's like a 4-patty bacon, cheese, and lettuce burger with all the fixings in there. And so she's been wanting me to try this thing out for a couple of years. And it's like every time I've been twice before. I've never ordered it. I've just ordered a light meal. But we were there with her parents. We were there with the kids. And she's like, you have to order this. I want to see what it looks like. So, Trey, can you play the video of me like ingesting this thing? I'm going to sneeze.
Sure.
Where? I'm having my salad.
You need to have every layer. It doesn't count. And watch out for the sticks.
Okay, here's one stick. Yeah, I know. There's 2. Why are you doing this? Okay. Oh, shoot. Oh, my God. I didn't even see those before. Yeah. I thought it was I didn't know there was like 20 sticks.
Okay, but now you're committed.
Okay.
Oh, that's actually hot. No.
Why are you backing up?
I don't know. I'm like. Okay, go.
Wait. That was a bite.
So was that a double patty on that? Like, what was it? What was that? Describe the burger.
Sheldon, that was a quad patty. 4 patties, bacon on the top layer, bacon on the bottom layer. There was lettuce all over, cheese all over. I can't even remember what toppings were inside, but it was a fantastic burger. Like, I couldn't put it down. I could not put that thing down. Like I had to do the anaconda. I think I dislodged my jaw
Yeah.
to be able to like wrap around it like and get it in a bite. But there was burger that wound up in everyone's drink glasses and stuff. I mean, it was a little messy. But it was, man, it was so damn good. And it felt like almost the most debaucherous thing. Thing I ate. Nothing could probably compare to the story of the Calgary Stampeders game that I attended with Kyle when I had to visit the bathroom for number. What number is puking? Because I know not what number 1 is. I know what number 2 is. Is puking number 3?
4? No. I think 3's together. 4's. Yeah, I'm not sure. But you know when you have to history of that glutton stuff. Because you know what? Like I don't do that often. I can't remember the last time I tried something like that. But do you remember? I can't remember if it was while we're still playing or just after I retired from the Stamps. We got invited in to that hotel there in the Northeast. And they had that, I can't remember what they called it, but it was the steak challenge where they served like a 72-ounce porterhouse steak.
Yes.
And I knew nothing. I never watched any competitive eating going into that. I was like, oh, yeah, this is going to be awesome. We're going to do this for sure. And they bring out the steak and some glasses of water for you. And basically it's $100 meal back then, which is probably like $400 now. If you eat it, you get it for free. Yep. Either way, ours was going to charity. And I remember eating that thing, and it was awesome. It was delicious. I was eating it to enjoy it for the first 30 ounces.
Yeah.
And then you hit 40, and it's like, geez, this is kind of tough. By 50, it was just gross. Like you had to force down every bite with a drink of water, and you're still looking at 20. It looked like that was still left on your plate. I think I beat you. I think I got to like 56 or 58 ounces or something. But
I think you got a little bit more than me. I remember from a previous steak eating experience in Jacksonville when I was 320 pounds that I believe I had a 72-ounce steak, but a lot of that 72 ounces was bone. At this spot, it was not. Yeah. And it was fabulous. I believe it was Gray's Grill was the name of the hotel. They sponsored the old Chevy and Nasty show. We got to keep the knives. I still have mine. I don't know if you still have yours.
Probably somewhere.
Yeah. But that was a fantastic experience. I remember that. That was good. And we used to do Monty's Crab Shack. If you remember that, we had a couple of gluttonous moments there. We had a little bit of an eating contest. I did win the Eric Francis Pizza Pig out once, but I kind of cheated. I threw a bunch of slices under the table, but I ate a lot of pizza. But I also slid some on and I got caught by McAussie. Remember McAussie, the old Australian guy? He was like a rugby Australian rules soccer guy, but he loved the CFL and he did like a live report every week on the CFL. McAussie, you got to look him up.
No, I don't remember him. Don't remember.
Anyways, he was one of the guys reporting and he kind of caught me cheating. But you know what? I have to say, if I come swing back to this burger, I wasn't sure if I would like it because I was like, it's like a $34 burger when you take the burger and the drink. I tell you what, it was fantastic. And sometimes when you do something so gluttonous, you're like, I would never do that again. Like I won't do the Calgary Stampeders eat so much that I do number 2 and number 4 again. And I probably won't go to a Pizza Pig out again because it's like, it ruins pizza for you. But this burger, I would do again. Oh, guys, is there something like gluttonous or something just, I don't know, just so decadent and so filling and so gross that when you eat it, you feel terrible, but maybe you'd go back? Like what's that meal for you? Do you have one, Sheldon? Like
no, not quite like that, but this one's got me thinking because I've been like kind of the opposite of that last few years. I've had some nasty like sushi throwdowns at an all you can eat where I ate way more than
like fusion sushi, right? Where you just kill it. Fusion sushi,
totally, yeah. But you've kind of got me motivated now to look for that epic Caesar or the burger because I'll tell you right now, Big Sky Barbecue is doing the same thing with brisket sandwiches, and they look delicious. I've just never actually try to take one of those things down before, but now I think I got to.
Yeah. Well, this place also had a pulled pork sandwich on a Caesar. I just took the burger because the burger just, I was ready to do a burger, but we should do something at Big Sky. You know why we need to do Big Sky? Because Daryl lives down there. He lives down in Oak, And it's very rare that we get to meet up with him at nighttime because such a drive either in or back for him. I mean, it takes him almost 3 hours to get home if he's going home from the Northwest. But if we can go to Okotoks, we kind of half it for both of us. And maybe we'll pick up Trey along the way. But I see Jack Fulton.
He's another guy right in the area down by Vulcan.
Yeah,
That's a halfway meeting point for Jack. Jack,
Yeah.
good to hear from you. Glad you're back.
Yeah, good to hear from you, Amanda. Your wife says that turkey dinner is the one that she can crush it, gets sick of it, but then soon comes back. Yeah, I would say turkey dinner does that for me. You're like, oh, I can never do this again, and then you do it, or a Chinese.
You're always
buffet.
so full after your first plate, right?
Yeah.
But I always go back and I'm just going to get a little bit more turkey with the stuffing and the gravy, and I come back with another half plate.
Yeah,
and then I'm like just comatose, right? But
yeah, for me, it's also when I'm in fat Chevy mode, and I could crush a dozen donuts.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'm never
Well,
doing
you're a
that
donut
again.
guy.
Yeah, well, I'm sweets, right? But like, if I crush a dozen donuts, like at the donut mill driving through Red Deer, and then, I'll tell myself, oh, I'll never do that again. But unless I've given up sweets, I'm in the mode right now, I'd probably crush another dozen the next week. Have I ever told you this, my donut mill story?
No.
When
in Red Deer at
in Red Deer. Yeah. So I never knew about the donut mill, right? Like I never knew. And there was like a three-week span where I had to go to Edmonton 3 weeks in a row, and I would pass through Red Deer. And Brittany told me about the donut mill. She's like, oh, you got to go to the donut mill. And I've been to Edmonton hundreds of times in the last 20 years, driving up and down that highway all the time. But I never stopped at that little, windmill place. It just looked too old timey for me that I didn't know what's in there. And so she's like, you got to go to Donut Mill. These are amazing. I'm like, okay. So I drive up the highway. I go to Donut Mill. I grab a coffee and a couple of donuts, and I jump in the car. I'm like, I eat them in the car. I'm like, oh man, these are good. But I was just on the tail end of giving up sugar. Like that kind of got me over the edge. I drive back from Edmonton. Guess what I do? I grab 6 donuts. I'm driving home. I eat 6 donuts. Next week, guess what? All I'm thinking about all week is the freaking donut mill. I'm like, oh,
wow.
Jesus. They got the raspberry Bismarck, the lemon filled. Like they got donuts I've never seen in ways that I've never tasted. The next week, Sheldon, I had a dozen donuts on the way up. And I had a dozen donuts on the way up. And the worst thing is, like, I called my mom like the second I got in the car. And I think I ate 6 of them before I got on the highway, like off the exit. And then this was the worst one. So I come back that next weekend. I'm like, man, you got to resist it. You got to resist. It's like I drive to Donut Mill. I get 6 donuts. I'm like, I'm just going to do 6. But then I order a box of donut holes. So I ordered a 50 pack of donut holes, 6 donuts, and I'm just about to leave. And I saw the lady comes out with a fresh tray of apple fritters. I'm like, oh, you guys got apple fritters too? She's like, yeah, you want one? I was like, yeah. She throws it in the bag. So I'm not, I'm like, I feel like I won the Super Bowl. I got 7 donuts, a 50 packet of donut holes, and I'm ripping home to Calgary. Sheldon, that was a pretty debaucherous time over a couple of weeks span. I'm not gonna say, but every time I go to Donut Mill, I regret it in the moment, and I go right back because that place is awesome.
It's like your crack. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
dude, like 6 donuts, like that's and they're not mini donuts, they're like your full size.
And I get the ones that are filled. Like, like if you
you
buy a donut with a hole in it, you're paying full price, but you've taken some of it out. And I just that's like anti Johnny free shit stuff there. Like if you're gonna buy a donut, you buy the whole thing filled up, because otherwise they should charge you less for the part they removed, which they don't. They just charge you more and sell it as a donut hole.
Do you know what my go-to place on that same drive up to Edmonton was in Red Deer? And I don't even know if it's still open anymore. Somebody who's been up there, you guys let us know. The Burger Baron.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch all over Alberta. Those are the best.
There used to be more.
Yeah.
In fact, there's a documentary about them on Netflix. But for me, it was that the triple bacon and mushroom burger, which is 3 patties. And I swear to God, they just take a can of Campbell's mushroom soup and just douse it in there. It is disgusting. You shouldn't try to eat it in your vehicle. It gets everywhere. But for me, it's like you're a sweets guy. I'm a savory guy. Give me something saucy. Give me something fatty. And I just can't put it down.
Well, they had one. I believe the one you probably went to was the one in Leduc. But they have a bunch up and down Cowboy Trail. So if you're going through what is it up there by Sundry? They got one in
Yeah.
Sundry, they got in Rocky Mountain House, and they also have the best shakes too. They're kind of rival Peter's drive-in type shakes. Oh man, I'm getting hungry, Sheldon. We probably should take a break now. Take a quick break, maybe have one of those humongous burgers or a donut. I don't know. Guys, listen, we're gonna take a break. There's lots to talk about, lots of things happen in the world of sports this week. You know, we don't pay attention to everything, but we kind of pay attention to a few things, and there's some big things happening. So when we get back, like we said, take a snack, have a drink. We'll be back in a few minutes, and we'll talk about what's going on in the world of sports.
Performance Freight Management is a global logistic freight shipping company that will handle the entire shipping process for any package to any country. Whether it be a simple truck shipment from your office to Toronto or your company importing generators from China, PFM Freight handles it all. We have the expertise and technology to handle any shipping requirements. Skip the guesswork and let us take the shipping pain off your plate.
Do you want your business to be known? YYCCalgaryBusiness.ca is Calgary's only online media platform that gets you noticed. Short-form video content is rapidly taking over as the most effective way to engage your audience. Whether you're being interviewed on a vodcast, sharing a sizzle reel, or even hosting your own show, there is one place you can publicize your business. We want to tell your story and introduce you to our network of empowered business owners and leaders right here in Calgary. Isn't it time you took your digital game to 11? Call us or email us now.
Welcome back to The Ride, episode 95 of The Ride with Chevy and Nasty, brought to you each week by Performance Freight Management, We Drone Real Estate Media, and YYC Business. Guys, thank you so much for following. It's nice to see the names up there. Kurt Pagno, Jack Fulton, who joins us, good old friend of ours from the days back in the Stamps and the Life Choice Dynamics. Jamin, Sheldon's road dog to go shut down the trailer, and all of you, from Rubio to Bruno to Dine and Dash Dad. So many of you join us each week, and it doesn't matter what mood I'm in. Some days I'm in a good mood, some days I'm in not a good mood. But when I see you guys up there, I'm like, yeah, you know what? This is more than just me showing up and doing a show for me. It's doing a show for you and with you guys. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening, and thanks for the interaction. Again, if you want to follow us on our social medias, and find us in our other spots where you can find the podcast, it's at Chevy and Nasty, and all the socials, like wherever you're at, we're pretty much at. There might be one or two in there that we're not there, but we're just not that technically savvy. But we're here. We made it. We talked about our favorite foods. Sheldon, let's talk about your favorite hockey team and the big move that was announced this week with the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah. McDavid signs a deal. It's interesting to me because it is a big move, but it's only a 2-year extension. I'm going to take what I can get, right? They bring in what's his name as a backup goalie. I think he needed to see something from the club to say that they're serious about this, that they're not just going to rely on the top two scoring lines for everything. So I think it's a good news. It's definitely a hometown discount that he got at $12.5 million. I mean, that's a lot of money, but what's his name? Minnesota just signed for $17 million. So this is a real hometown discount, but it's only 2 years. It's saying, guys, I need to see something more out of this organization. I want to be here. You guys want me here, but we've got to get serious about this. I'm not going to be another guy that wastes my prime chasing cups on a dud team. So we're going to see. It's going to be a really interesting season right now to see how that defense holds up, to see how Skinner looks in goal. Are we going to see good Skinner? Is he going to come out with confidence after last year, or what it's going to be? But it's an exciting move. I mean, it's giving them a chance to be in the cup for the next 3 years. I love it.
So let me ask you this question. Our old coach Tom Higgins said, "You either get better, you get worse. You never stay the same." Staying the same would put them within a couple of victories of the Stanley Cup. Getting worse, obviously, is not getting to where they are or where they were last year. Can they get better? I mean, they've lost a lot of guys. They lost Evander Kane. They lost Corey Perry. They lost a lot of guys that kind of were those pieces that got them over the hump when Connor wasn't firing, when Draisaitl wasn't firing, when what's his name got hurt and he was out. Hyman got hurt. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, there's some pieces gone. Can they get back?
In fairness, though, I mean, I love what Corey Perry brought to the team, but he's not going to get you over the hump. He was a good locker room guy, a good glue guy, and he definitely brought the toughness and put up a lot of points in the playoffs. He signs right now a 1 year at league minimum. I can't believe he's still going, but he's still got something to give to the game. Kane was just frustrating, though, wasn't he? I mean, the undisciplined play, at times you just loved him, but he hurts you more often, and he hurts you in big moments. So those are guys that are replaceable. The bottom line, though, is what has beaten us the last couple of years. Yeah, I mean, Florida's a hell of a team. Hot goaltending. And that's the one thing that every Stanley Cup champion has to have. You have to have your defense healthy, and you have to have your goaltender come up at his best in the playoffs. And that's like relying on your kicker to be outstanding, right? It's hard to do. It's hard to have a hot goalie in the playoffs. I just hope that they're able to address that I hope that was a good depth move, and I hope that Skinner's ready to go, or they're going to have to make some tough calls here early in the season.
Yeah. Well, so let me ask you this then. A lot of chatter about McDavid leaving, going to Toronto, going elsewhere. Does this deal silence that, or is it just put Edmonton on notice? Listen, if we don't win in the next 2 years, I'm gone. Is that how you read this as a fan? How do you read this as a fan?
100%. It's just pressure on the organization. Let's get this done. Huge gesture on his part. He's giving up he's giving up $5 million a year as signing this deal, right? It's a huge gesture from his part, and it definitely puts the pressure on the Oilers. But it also gives him a little bit of room, right? It's like, he's not going to have the team that he needs to get to that cup if he's getting paid $17.5 million.
Yeah.
Right. So I like the move on his part, and hopefully, you can't look back at the last 20 years of Oilers history and say they have a great front office, but they've built a pretty good team. And if they can make some adjustments this year, they got a chance.
I just feel like as a hockey fan, I'm not an Oilers hater. Like, I can jump on the bandwagon. So I'm not this guy's like, I want them to lose. I just don't know. Like, there's a level of what they did that you have to equate as success. Like, there are teams that would die right now for the playoff experience that the Oilers got in the last 2 years. Yes, everybody wants to win a Stanley Cup. There can only be one. But as a hockey fan, just playing the odds that everyone else is getting better. Everyone else learned from whatever little mistakes they made last year. The odds of them getting back last year were kind of astronomical to be playing the same team. But the incumbent Stanley Cup champs, they seem to have gotten better over the years. Last year they added Seth Jones. Like, seems like they just add. The Oilers don't seem to add the way other teams do. They add the fact that they years onto Connor's contract, but I feel like it's not enough. I feel like it's not going to get them over the hump to win those last 3 games they need to win. Like, they don't have anyone. If they just wind up going back and playing Florida, they don't have anyone yet that matches Sam Bennett or Matthew Tkachuk's intensity. They don't have a goalie that matches Bobrovsky. They don't have defense that match Seth Jones. They're the same team. They're just happy. They are the same team, but they haven't gone into it healthy in the last 2 seasons. And but are they going to go into healthy this year, Sheldon? Like, that's
but I'll tell you what, though, if it was not for that Florida team you're talking about, I mean, this is Joe Montana and the 49ers of the 80s. And I'm not giving them an excuse, but you can't tell me that had something happened to Bobrovsky, Bennett wasn't playing, Tkachuk was more injured than he was, that or if they played any other team, that the Oilers would not have been the favorite in the Stanley Cup Finals. It's a good team. I was worried last year that they'd actually taken a step back, and maybe they did. But
Trey's
still right.
Trey's piping on here. Trey's piping on here that Seth Jones he's saying Seth Jones is not better than Bouchard and Ekholm. Are you kidding me? Ekholm missed half the playoffs, and he played when he did come. He was injured. And
are you kidding me right now?
All right, here we go. Let's hear it.
Evan Bouchard has the second most playoff points.
He's got a hard shot. Yeah, okay. He did not dominate.
Seth Jones is terrible. Seth Jones is not good.
Seth Jones locked down for Seth Jones is a Stanley Cup champion, and Bouchard is a runner-up 2 years in a row.
So anybody could be a Stanley Cup champion. Doesn't mean
I guess
good.
Anybody can, and we'll see if anybody can with a $12 million or a $25 million extension. I'm just saying, I don't think they're going to do it. I think they go backwards this year. They had their chance.
I don't understand why you think they lost all these key pieces. They lost Perry, who's 40, and he's going to go downhill in a hurry. Kane added nothing in the playoffs except dumb penalties. Connor Brown, okay, we replaced his 20 goals with Mangiapane. And Victor Arvidsson, he stinks. So, like, the team is basically the same. They don't have Hyman, I guess, to start the season. But this is by far the best Oilers team, including some of the rookies with Matt Savoy and Isaac Howard. They got a good backup now in Ingram.
2 years ago was way better than this year. 2 years ago, when they went to Game 7, was their best shot. That was their best shot.
No, that team
I like
had
that
no depth. They were McDavid and Draisaitl, and that was it.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. I mean, you can move on without Kane. You can move on without Perry. I'm excited to see how these young guys develop, and that's where it's going to be. You know, not just on the front office, but right from the coaching staff and everything. The culture of this team, they have to find the drive early in the season before they become complacent with becoming the next Buffalo Bills. They've got to find the eye of the tiger that I think we missed a little bit last year. I don't know if it's injuries or it's just the helplessness of knowing that we don't have the goaltending behind us to truly compete, where McDavid felt he had to do everything himself. If we get some additional scoring from some of the young bucks, Trey, I think we're better than last year.
I think
everybody says
they're way younger. They were like the oldest team in the league last year, and now they're like middle of the pack.
I'm going to tell you, I think the team that's going to emerge out of the West is going to be one of three teams. It's going to be Colorado, it's going to be Dallas, or it's going to be the Golden Knights, because Mitch Marner tilts the scales in favor of the Golden Knights. I know everybody
in the playoffs.
Everyone said he sucks. Wait
in Toronto.
I will. I'll gladly
to Vegas.
Give us Vegas in round 2, and we'll beat him in 5 again. No problem.
All right. You said it here. Trey said it here. He's taking his money and he's putting it all on Oilers to win the Stanley Cup.
100%. That's
just
my
like
pick.
He's putting all his money on the Jays to win the World Series.
Jays lost tonight. Very sad.
They sure did. You guys didn't watch any of that, Sheldon? Trey?
No, I did. I heard there was a bunch of that this game. It was the Jays defense that let him down. Like pitching obviously got a little bit soft later in the game, but there's drop balls, there's unforced errors. They let the Yankees back into this one. Is what I heard. I haven't seen it.
They were up 6-1 and then just completely melted down. A couple of errors. Judge hit a 3-run home run off the foul pole, and then they're pitching. They pulled Bieber pretty early, like in the second inning, and their bullpen. I think every single one of the relievers gave up a run. So, and they have a bullpen game tomorrow too, because they didn't take 4 pitchers to the playoffs, and we took 3 starters. So it's a bullpen game tomorrow. They're probably going to get crushed again.
Well, I'm not going to pretend to say that I follow baseball, because I don't, but I sure am paying attention right now to the I guess the noise generated on the weekend by young Vlad Guerrero Jr. You know, they won 10-1 on Saturday, 13-7 on Sunday. I was at my open house, and the fire crews was like, man, this thing's going to be big today. Now, he had his moment, right? With 2 Grand Slam home runs, basically home runs in 2 games, and then he had another one tonight, another home run. So this guy, I mean, he signed a contract extension. Was it during the season? I believe it was during the season.
Yeah, it was like a weekend or something.
They paid him some big cash. Like, he's the top 6 earner in in baseball. I believe. I mean, top 6 or 7, if I'm not mistaken.
Top 10 for sure.
And at first, we are like, I don't know if this guy can bring it. Like, there was questions about his conditioning. There's questions about his consistency. I think he even dropped off a little bit during the season. People are like, oh no, here we go.
Dude, he went cold. He went cold to close out the season. I mean, it was scary. Everybody in that lineup, the bats just got cold. The 5 days off, I think, really helped him out.
But with his performance, like against New York, in New York, I mean, the entire world is watching now. He's not playing in Toronto, which is a big market. He's playing in the biggest market for baseball in the world. Is he now like become a mega star with this performance? Like, he's a big star, but it's like he's got to be a mega after this. Like, people got to be like on notice with this guy. Like, he just walks up and hits home runs every time he's at bat.
You don't think that he was going into this like a young megastar?
It's kind of like Nathan McKinnon playing for the Colorado Avalanche. He's great. He's amazing. He's on par with McDavid, but no one really knows him until he shows up in the playoffs. And then Canadians are like, holy crap, this guy's good. Yeah, I kind of feel like that with him. Or like we mentioned Myles Garrett before. Probably one of the best defenders in the NFL right now, but he plays for the Browns. When you play for the Browns, no one cares. No one watches. And I'm not saying that's the case with the Blue Jays, because the Blue Jays went on a run this year, but they're a Canadian team. They're a Canadian team. And they're, some would argue Canada's team. There's only about 40 million people here. When you do what he's doing 3 days in a row against the Yankees in the biggest stage of the world, which is, the Major League Baseball playoffs, the ALDS, that's a big deal, no? Does he get more money? Does someone try and go after him because it's like, we need that on our team?
Well, he's still a young guy, but yeah, you know what? This playoff performance to show that you can do it in the playoffs is special. It is important. You have to do it, right?
Dine and Dash says he's not mega.
Nobody, not unless they win the World Series, he says. Yeah. I disagree with that a little bit because there's so much you're going to be relying on pitching and the health of the lineup and whatnot. But I mean, if you're hitting grand slams back to back, home runs in every game, I mean, he's definitely making a statement. Especially the big thing for me is he's showing his mental toughness, because like going into the slump at the end of the season for a young guy, getting asked about it night in and night out, to be able to adjust, focus, and it was nice to be able to start at home, but to go into New York and do the same thing, it shows that this guy is a world caliber player with a mind of a champion.
Was his weekend more memorable to Blue Jay fans than Jose Bautista's bat flip? I got to imagine the Joe Carter home run is the most memorable moment for any Blue Jay fan. That's got to be the one burned at number.
Big moments are different. It's one thing to hit a grand slam when you're already up by 6 runs versus coming through, in the 9th, right? So that story's yet to write itself to see how he does in those real clutch situations. But I think if I'm a Jays fan, I'm feeling pretty damn good about it right now, about the front office, everything they put together. And Bichette's not even playing yet, is he?
Yeah. Nope. Well, they could close it out tomorrow night, Sheldon. They're up 2-1. The Yankees, they were up 6-1 tonight. They blew that lead and they lost 9-6. So their bats went cold. Their pitching went soft, and like you said, a couple of errors. But can they clean it up tomorrow night?
Can I switch things up a little bit, getting off the Jays here? So I just talked about like the mental toughness of going into the World Series and with that kind of performance. Vernon Adams, I didn't even hear about this. This went on our chat line a little later, and I don't know if we have a video clip of it or anything like that. But Chev, fill me in on what he said to the media. And was this today? Was this yesterday?
Well, this was, I believe, just after the last game, probably on the media scrum. I mean, Vernon Adams, he's lost his confidence. The Stamps are on a 3-game skid. They're in must-win territory. Few games left. They got 1 home game left on the 18th. And, he said, we're not playing well. The team's confidence is down. He's lost his confidence. Sheldon, have you ever seen this from your start? I mean, you're in the locker room. We're sitting down. You're on a 3-game skid. Whatever the context is, there's probably some context there that they just kind of took the snippet of what he said. But again, his words were, I've lost my confidence. How does that make you feel as a teammate? Like going,
honestly, and I don't know what he's going through right now. I will say this. I'm a huge Vernon Adams fan.
Same.
But if I saw my quarterback in my locker room saying that, I want to smack him up the head and just tell him to go find it. That's your job. Go find it. You're not going to find it from feelings. That was my problem with the guy we had the last couple of years. He's just talking all this pie in this guy stuff. I get it that confidence and momentum is a very real thing. But you know how you get your confidence back? Get back into the film room. Focus in practice. Get the extra time spent with the guys. Start working on the little things to make sure confidence doesn't come from feeling good or having a good night's sleep. It comes from being prepared. If I have bad confidence because my shoulder's messed up and I can't deliver the ball, that's one thing. So I don't know the context of what he said exactly, but I think this was a bad move on his part because you know what? It does affect everybody else. It doesn't rally the troops.
It definitely doesn't
rally the troops.
And again, sometimes, Sheldon, there is truth in sport to fake it till you make it, right? I'll try to get that. I didn't even put in my picks. I'm so done with the CFL Pick'em League. I'm so mad at that league because it sneaks up on you, first of all, and it sucks. And 2 weeks ago, it didn't save my picks. But let me ask you this, Sheldon. You got a quarterback. He comes out. He says he's not confident and brings you down. Can they bounce back from this, or is everyone going to game with doubts?
You're gonna have doubts. Everybody's got doubts right now. But once again, that's the thing you have to focus on is just a good day in practice, a good day in film. You're professional football players. You got to pick it up. How many years, Chev, even when we were with the Stamps, this was times when Henry Burris was struggling. We had Joffrey Reynolds, but we throw deep on first down. We're 2nd and 10 all the time. Our offense was just stamped. It was awful. But from a defensive standpoint, we had our goals set. We're going to hold them to 21 points or less each game. And I think we ran off 6 straight weeks giving up a touchdown or less on defense.
You remember? You remember that old, I don't quote too much to The Simpsons, but this is probably from 30 years ago, Simpsons. You remember, it's like, hi, I'm Troy McClure. You might remember me from such videos as Get Confident, Stupid. I think that's what Vernon Adams needs right now because, he's got a tough opponent this week. They're playing Hamilton Tiger Cats, and he might not have a chip on his shoulder. But one guy that has a chip on his shoulder coming back. That's Bo Levi Mitchell. He is carrying a chip on his shoulder against every single naysayer. And right now, he is the best quarterback in the league, followed very closely by Nathan Rourke. But Bo Levi Mitchell has been lights out this year. And I told you, I've been a Bo Lever from the start. And this guy is leading his team there. I believe they're the best team in the East by far. Not by far, but they got 10 wins. That would put them number 2 in the West. So that they're up there. Right now it's seemingly a 3-horse race in the CFL. If I'm looking at it, it's Hamilton, it's Saskatchewan, followed very closely by a hot BC. And if I would say who's the top of that, I would say BC just because they're heating up at the right time. And you know that in the CFL, if you're heating up in October going into November, you're the team to beat. And, you look at Saskatchewan, haven't had the greatest performances, I believe, in the last couple of weeks. They I believe they lost to Edmonton or was it last week they lost to Edmonton or a couple of weeks ago? They beat Ottawa last week.
Yeah, last week.
Well, no, last week they beat Ottawa. I think it was the week before they lost.
Yeah, week before. It was the week before Edmonton, and the week before that they got smoked by Montreal.
Yeah, and this week Saskatchewan's playing lame duck Toronto, who's out of the playoffs, going from Grey Cup hero to 0. But Vernon Adams has to find his confidence for the Stamps to turn their fortunes around. But speaking of another quarterback, actually, you know what? I think we're going to save this. I think we'll save this for studs and duds. What do you say, guys? We take a break? You want to take a break and we'll come back, studs and duds? Listen, guys, this is a fast one. It's rolling off the tongue. We got so much to talk about. We'll save it for the third segment. We love that you guys are here. Rob Evans joined us a little bit late to the show, but you're here and we're happy you're there. For the rest of you guys, if you like this show, please subscribe, share, tag us. If you got any funny, stupid, silly memes, send them to us. We love that. Sheldon loves the memes. He's a meme guy. Trey's a meme guy. And yeah, just let us know what you're talking about and what you're paying attention to, because this is a good time of year. We got football, we got hockey. It was game 1 tonight. I believe the Blackhawks played the Panthers. Who won that one? Was it the Blackhawks? I think the Blackhawks might have won that one.
I know. Wait, let me pull it up.
I was looking at some of
the
the
Panthers won 3-2, and the Penguins shut out the Rangers 3-0, and the Avs are up 4-1 on the Kings right now.
Well, there you go. Daryl will be happy that the Penguins started this season with a shutout. I don't know if he's flying back from Portugal yet, but I didn't see him in the chat. So listen, guys, let's take a break, have a drink, have a snack, and then when we get back, we'll wrap this thing up.
Performance Freight Management is a global logistic freight shipping company that will handle the entire shipping process for any package to any country. Whether it be a simple truck shipment from your office to Toronto or your company importing generators from China, PFM Freight handles it all. We have the expertise and technology to handle any shipping requirements. Skip the guesswork and let us take the shipping pain off your plate.
Do you want your business to be known? YYCCalgaryBusiness.ca is Calgary's only online media platform that gets you noticed. Short-form video content is rapidly taking over as the most effective way to engage your audience. Whether you're being interviewed on a vodcast, sharing a sizzle reel, or even hosting your own show, there is one place you can publicize your business. We want to tell your story and introduce you to our network of empowered business owners and leaders right here in Calgary. Isn't it time you took your digital game to 11? Call us or email us now.
Welcome back to the ride. The texting is fast and furious with the show. Trey, good job on the show so far, keeping up with us. We knew tonight we'd be a little bit all over the place. Lots going on. I mean, we talked about baseball tonight. We never talk about baseball, but it's fun to just kind of feel it. Like I said, I don't follow it, but I sure am paying attention now. And I'll be paying attention tomorrow at 4 p.m. to see how it goes in I believe they're back in Toronto. So there was a beautiful picture. I sent it in the chat of
they're in New York tomorrow.
They're in
Game
New York.
5's in
Okay.
Toronto.
Yeah. Okay, Game 5 in Toronto. Well, they won't make it to Game 5. They'll wrap it up tomorrow, I believe. But yeah, there was a beautiful picture in Toronto. It was with the Canada flag and Rogers. Was it Rogers Place Center? It used to be Sky Dome. I'm just calling it Sky Dome. And man, that was a nice picture, a nice scene. Toronto's not my team. And, I won't get behind the Canada's thing. I'm still a diehard Expos fan. But if they're doing okay, I'm okay with it. And they're doing okay, so I'm okay with it. Sheldon, should we go right into studs and duds, or is there anything you want to hit before we hit studs or duds?
No, I think we're good. We talked about food, so I'm covered for my topics tonight. What do we got for studs and duds?
Well, studs and duds.
So I'm going to start it off, Sheldon. I got a couple of things here. I don't know what they all are, but I went to a movie this weekend, and I'm just going to put it up there. I went to watch The Rock. You know, I have a man crush on The Rock, and The Rock doing a biopic. The Smashing Machine is the movie, and it's a biopic based on the life of former Pride fighter Mark Kerr. And to do this movie, The Rock underwent some major physical changes to look like Mark Kerr, the fighter in Pride, ex-champion, big-time fighter. And man, I tell you, Rock was there were times in the movie he was unrecognizable, and there are times where it was like, well, it kind of looks weird. And I'm not sure if it was makeup or for CGI. But I'll tell you this.
What?
Go ahead.
Well, didn't I hear he was wearing prosthetics and stuff like that, had to spend a lot of time in makeup? Is that what it was? Or was it CGI?
No, well, I think it was prosthetics, but it's just he looked different. He looked different, so it looked almost like it was CGI, but it wasn't. It was the prosthetics, made his face a little bit bigger. So it's kind of like you see the Rock, but you don't see the Rock. And in certain shots, it's more prominent than others. But I'll say this, Sheldon. This movie was probably one of the Rock's best performances ever. Like, fantastic movie with the Rock and Emily Blunt. Your buddy Baz Rutten was in the movie. I know you like Baz.
Yeah.
And as far as a drama, one of his best performances. As far as a movie, it wasn't good. And it's really weird to say that. My son goes to see this movie on Friday night. He comes back. He's like, Dad, The Rock was awesome in this movie. I was like, okay. He's like, but Dad, the movie was bad. I'm like, how can a guy be like, when you say he's like, Dad, he might win an Oscar for this role. I'm like, okay, how can a movie be so bad? And when you watch it, you're like, yeah, he is so like he owns that role and he's great in it. But then the movie is just kind of a dud. So I don't know what to give it. I would love it to see if I know Trey said he was going to watch it. I don't believe you watched it prior to tonight, Trey. But when you watch it, you're going to tell me if you think it's a stud or a dud, because the movie to me was a dud, but The Rock was a stud. And so that's my spoiler-free review, is that you're really going to enjoy The Rock's performance, but you're going to come out of there feeling kind of empty, and not empty in the Reservoir Dogs type of way where it's like leaves you to your own devices to figure out what happened, or No Country for Old Men or Pulp Fiction. Not that type of way where you're like, oh, I just want to know what the director was thinking. This is not that. This is like, oh, okay. So what do we learn?
I'm proud of The Rock then for taking this on. Like, quite frankly, I don't really want to see the movie. I like him enough to go watch some of his other stuff because he makes me laugh. That said, I'm willing to be shocked because I heard he did an incredible job getting ready for the role and pushed himself in a lot of ways. But unless the storytelling is there, unless there's enough respect for the story and the things that are interesting to an audience and the flow of the movie, I mean, yeah, it's possible it's a dud, right? One movie on one fighter, unless the only movies that really worked for where it was Rocky or back in the day of Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's a tough story maybe to pull off. So do you recommend going to see it?
If you like The Rock,
is it worth it 3 hours in the theater?
It's not that long. It's not a 3-hour movie, which is good. I mean, we were in and out in about an hour and a half, maybe an hour 40 minutes. So it was nice because it was a short movie. It had a real dramatic flair to it, so I enjoyed that. Seeing The Rock on the big screen in this role, he looked even bigger. Like, dude is a unit. Like, I don't care if you're a woman or a dude. When you see The Rock and the way he looked in this role, you'd be like, man, that dude's a dude. Like, he's just a dude. His performance was great, but like I said, once I left, I was like, oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I felt. But yeah, I would suggest it because you get to see the range. If you like The Rock, go see it. If you want to see a decent drama, go see it. But also expect that you're going to be like, what just happened? And why is that how it ends? Okay, sure. I guess so. But the movie that beat it out in the box office, Sheldon, if you want to believe this weekend, box office released this weekend, and you tell me if this is a starter dud. Taylor Swift, second time she goes to the theater. So when she had her Eras tour, the last big tour that made her like $1 trillion or whatever it is, she had it released at the movie theaters. And when it hit the movie theaters, sold out everywhere. Like, they never seen gate revenue.
You're talking about Eras now.
Yeah, the Eras tour. Well, this weekend, Taylor Swift said, let's go back to the movies. And she released her brand new album. I believe is it The Diary of a Showgirl or The Tragedy of a Showgirl? I don't know what it is. Or The Life of a Showgirl. I think it's The Life of a Showgirl. Anyway, she released it at the theaters. And it was the #1 grossing box office, I guess, movie of the weekend internationally. Like, she blew everything out of the water.
Yeah.
Going to the theater. Is this the future of the big acts? Because there was a report I was listening to. There's that podcast radio show called the Couch Surfers or the Couch Potatoes. And they were saying that in 10 years, movie theaters might be shut down. Netflix thinks that, the traditional movie houses are gone. Um, could this save movie theaters? Like big artists, like we're talking about um, Taylor Swift's, the Bad Bunnies,
So
releasing their videos and albums as a full length movie on at the movie theater.
So first off, this isn't a new thing. I mean, you think back to Michael Jackson and Thriller. He did it back in, what was that, 1983 or 81, sometime back then. I think it's a great call, a great move on Taylor Swift's part because it's a disruptor, something different. Everybody's going to streaming, so she goes back to the movie theaters. Movies aren't going to die, but the movie experience is going to have to reinvent itself and continue to reinvent itself if you want to keep people going. If Taylor Swift can draw crowds of the young girls, the boys are going to follow, right? So theaters aren't dead, but they are going to have to rethink. I think it was a great move on her part, just even to be able to make that statement, go head to head with whatever else is in the theaters right now. And granted, I don't think there's a lot of competition in the theaters right now for new releases, so it's really well timed to grab a headline. I mean, I think it was a brilliant move. Stars could just as easily do this on streaming platforms, though. Maybe there's more money there, but this is
so
just
stud. You're saying stud?
Oh, for sure, total stud. Yeah, total.
So you know me, like I love new things, and I love the movie theater. I don't know if I would go see Taylor Swift album release, maybe because I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. But if Metallica did this, and Metallica's done a couple of movie projects that they've never released on the big screen. But if there was something released on a big screen to a Metallica soundtrack, I probably would go watch it. I probably would check it out. I checked out her album, and because again, I listened to her podcast. We talked about this last week. I listened to her podcast on the New Heights. I found a new respect for her. She's not just a teeny bopper princess that moved from country to pop because that's where the money was. She's a very, very shrewd business person with some fantastic ideas, and this movie theater thing probably being one of them. I had to listen to her album. Last week we had the discussion about Bad Bunny, and so much backlash on the internet from NFL fans that it's like, it's not my NFL. It's like, well, are you there for the show or the football? If you're there for the football, don't worry about the show. But some people want it the way they want it when their grandparents watched, or when they watched with their grandparents. And it's not that anymore. And when we talked about Bad Bunny, I was like, I don't know any of his songs. I don't know any of his music. None of his music's in English. Is that a problem with him, or is that a problem with me that I don't know any of it? And I'm willing to put myself out there and say, you know what, I got to get with the times. My son, he's like, Dad, he doesn't have English songs, but his music is good. It's you feel it. I was like, okay.
I'm going to step in now. I'm going to go stutter dad on that, and I'm going to call that a dud move.
What's
you
that?
don't have to go and become a Bad Bunny fan. You just have to recognize who he is. You don't have to go out and listen to Taylor Swift just because she's the biggest thing, the pop star. Like, for me, my thing is this: I know what I like, and I know what's not for me. I hate the fact it's Bad Bunny for the halftime show because it's not who I want to see. But I'm willing to watch the spectacle. I'm not going to hate on it.
Okay, but wait a second.
Why they're doing it. It's a good move.
I got to cut you off.
There and buy an album just to go.
Yeah, but I didn't buy an album.
I've never listened to any other time. Like, I'm not going to buy Taylor Swift.
But again, how can you know if you like it if you never listen to it? And I'm just saying, like, with Bad Bunny, for instance, I knew nothing about him. How can I form an opinion on a guy I know nothing about, except I know that he doesn't sing music in English? That says more about me if I'm not willing to listen to it than him.
What does it say about you?
It says that I'm not open-minded to at least listen to figure out if I like it or not. Maybe I will like it. Maybe I won't. You ever know Dr. Seuss, Green Eggs and Ham? Try it, Sam I am. And he keeps saying, no. He said, I will not have it on a bus or in a boat or in a car.
That was more targeted towards 4-year-olds, but I get
well, it's the same thing. I mean, and then he finally tries it. And he's like, well, I do like Green Eggs and Ham. Well, try it, nasty. Maybe you will like it, and you'll see Bad Bunny you will like at the halftime at Super Bowl 53. I don't know. But anyhow, the point is, I listened to this Taylor Swift album, or at least I haven't gone through the whole thing. There's some good tunes on there. There are some good tunes, and that's what I was trying to say. There's one tune that's very reminiscent of Muse. I know a band that you like. Do you like Muse, a little alternative rock band?
Yeah.
But anyways, there's a couple of good tunes there. But again, for me, it was like, I got to give it a chance. I don't have to buy it.
What I would do is I would want to see how being married to an NFL star and being all settled down is going to change your songwriting. At some point, every songwriter kind of gets out of the young, 30s, 20s, teen stage. And at what point will she start becoming a little less relevant? But I'm all for her milking as far as she can. She writes good songs. They're catchy. Her fan base follows her every step of the way.
Yeah.
What's it saying? We'll be discussing. Well, I missed.
Yeah.
that.
So Rubio, what it says is that our buddy Rubio will be discussing the Super Bowl halftime show on the Rubio Method tomorrow on his 108th episode. So if you guys want to have a little bit more in-depth conversation about Bad Bunny, whether you like him or not like him, Rubio is going to cover it. And for me, like I said, before I say I don't like something, I gotta at least listen to it to know if I don't like it or not. And Bad Bunny is one of those that I knew nothing about. I just knew he was a Latin flair, and I said I'm going to listen to it. I used to love the Gypsy Kings, Sheldon. I don't know if you remember the Gypsy Kings. Well, they didn't sing in English, and if they were at the Super Bowl, I'd be all over the Gypsy Kings. So, but Bad Bunny is a little different, but he's a big megastar. But to Taylor Swift, I listened to some of her songs. I liked some of her songs, and I can see why she's the megastar that she is. So for me, she's a stud. She makes my stud list. And then last one, the last stutter dud we were going to talk about it last segment, but we kind of pushed it. Mark Sanchez, former USC quarterback, New York Jets quarterback, hospitalized in an apparent stabbing. And you think, oh my God, Indianapolis, cesspool of crime. Even the pretty boy sports announcers aren't safe. But wait, it turns out that Mark Sanchez is the one that attacked a 69-year-old truck driver who was backing his truck up at a hotel loading bay and I guess was blocking Sanchez from passing. Sanchez jumps in the truck, starts beating on the guy. The guy sprays Sanchez with pepper spray. It doesn't stop him. And Sanchez keeps going. So the guy, as he's getting beaten up, stabs Sanchez several times. So not only did he get stabbed a bunch of times for starting a fight, and apparently he was severely intoxicated, he also is getting arrested for battery and getting sued and probably going to lose his job. Sheldon, do we even have to ask Stutter Dud here?
Oh, just a sad story of where this guy is at in his life. Like you wonder, has he been a train wreck? Because things will be coming out here over the next few days and weeks. More stories about his behavior. I know virtually nothing about the guy. But this is not a small snap. I mean, drinking and driving, even for one thing, it's probably something that he does. He got his rituals after the game. He was going back to the hotel. What caused him to snap? But the interesting thing is, unlike Canada, they're able to say, no, dude, I know you stabbed him, but this was a scary situation. You used the force that was necessary. To have a guy get pepper sprayed 2 or 3 times and keep coming at you.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you saw the shot of the victim.
Oh yeah, he's in rough shape.
Hospital. He's in rough shape. Sanchez did some damage to this guy.
Yeah. Well, it turns
he's
out
going to be
this guy's
traumatized for the rest of his life.
Oh yeah, he's lost some function in certain body parts. I don't know if his eyes or something. I don't know if Trey has that shot, but yeah, he's suing Sanchez and the NFL. You know what's funny is last week, I don't know why this keeps sticking back in my brain. I saw this Instagram reel where it was Mark Sanchez sitting at home, and he's, I don't know what he's doing. He was like reading something at his dinner table, and his little kid goes to the Alexa and says, "Hey Alexa, tell me about Mark Sanchez." And it was like our Google, whatever. And it says, Mark Sanchez was a quarterback at the USC. It was a star quarterback at USC, but, really didn't amount to much in the NFL and was very famous for the butt fumble. And for those of you who remember that in New York, I would think he was running a quarterback draw or there was a missed handoff. So he decided to run up the middle. And as he dove forward, his head hit his offensive lineman's butt and it caused the fumble. And it's, this is a very New York Jets thing to do. We oftentimes talk about the Jets. We talked about them a lot last year with Aaron Rodgers there. And, I was with that organization for a little bit and they just can't seem to get out of their own way. And it happens week in, week out. It happened last week again versus the Cowboys. But, it seems like anyone affiliated with them that had any sort of career with them is also affected by this. And this is no different. Mark Sanchez going out in public, beating up this old guy, getting stabbed in the process, and probably going to face 6 years in prison. That's a very New York Jets thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that goes beyond the Jets. I mean, that's just, I wonder what happened to this guy to snap that badly. Hasn't anything like this ever happened before that's been
It's
covered
booze,
up?
Sheldon. There's some people that are happy drunks, and there's some people that are miserable drunks.
No,
and it's
absolutely
night and day from what their personality is. You catch them on a good day, nothing. But if they're and I know some people like that.
That's why I'm waiting to hear what comes out, because there's got to be some signs of this beforehand, right? Unless this is the one time I drank alcohol after a broadcast and drove myself home and just too much. So there's going to be more coming out about him. He's going to get drugs. What's that?
I think this was the night before. Anyways, it wasn't even the day after. It was the night before.
Yeah,
I think he missed.
I guess so. Yeah, because it would have been. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
You got anything else for me, Sheldon?
No, just a reminder, everybody. We always talk about elections. We talk about the American elections, the provincial elections, the Canadian elections. Guys, right now, if you're in the city of Calgary, it is our mayoral elections.
Yes.
And Calgary has become a pretty expensive place to live. I'm not going to tell you guys who to vote for, but one of the things that I heard talked about is how much apathy there is in the city right now for this mayoral election. Guys, the city elections have the biggest impacts on you, on your property taxes, on your blanket rezoning that we've been seeing going on in the city. Go out there, get yourself educated a little bit. It looks like a 3-horse race right now, but guys, make sure you do get yourself educated and get out and vote. Do you think there's a lot of apathy? Because I know, again, I work for the city, so I can't really comment too much. But I work for the city. Our mayor, Jody Conduct, she's pretty polarizing from what we could gather. She's very polarizing. When someone's very polarizing and there's either people that want to keep them in or get them out, that tells me there's not a lot of apathy. And there seems to be a lot of very popular candidates propping up. You talk about the Sonia Sharps in the world, Brian Thiessen's. Brian Thiessen's sitting at 5% right now.
But who else is sitting at
14%?
Who's the guy at top?
You got Farkas on top, which is a little bit surprising. I mean, he was the disruptor when he's on council a few years ago. Yeah. I honestly don't know that much about the guy. I've still got to. I know you can start voting as of yesterday. I got to go out and watch a couple more debates, and then you got Davison and Sonia Sharp. I think Sonia Sharp's in second right now.
Yeah.
But
I know Sonia. I like Sonia. I like Sonia a lot.
People are talking, but do people get out and vote for the city elections? And that's I think that's the important thing to do. You look back historically, and you're like 60% or more voting in provincial elections and federal elections, and for the cities, it's a fraction of that. So
yeah, and I think right now there's this perfect storm. I don't know, a social storm right now with the teacher strike that's really affecting people right now. There's 51,000 teachers on strike. I believe they said that affects 750,000 students. So that's a lot of families that are scrambling. I know.
At a certain age, when you got kids that are grade 1 to grade 5, yeah, absolutely, you're scrambling. I mean, it changes everything, right?
Yeah, and then people that are people that have kids with special needs that aren't going to school. There's a lot going on, and voting might be the last thing on their minds. It might be like, yeah, you know what, someone else can vote for me. But if everyone does that, maybe that's where the apathy sits in. But yeah, this teacher strike to me is kind of a dud. We talked a little bit about it, and it's actually started. But yeah, I look at my kids, and my one son, his grade 12 season could probably be done, and that could be the difference between going to play football somewhere or not, and succeeding in his diploma exams or not, because he's not in school. So that's tough. But then for all the little kids, it's the childcare issue. No one's saying, hey, you know what, take as much time as you need off for the strike to take care of your kids. And there's people really scrambling right now. And $30 a day that some of these folks are getting from the government, it's not covering childcare. Childcare only early childhood educators, daycares and stuff, they have a capped ratio of like 1 to 6 people. They can't go around the law. They can't accept more kids if they don't have more workers. So it's not a simple fix of, hey, we give parents $30 a day, go get childcare. It's not out there. They could pay you or me, but that's all there is. So yeah, it's kind of tough because you're right. It might not be necessarily people don't want to vote, but they got a lot on their minds these days. I don't know. Be interesting. Did you vote already?
No, I said I've still got to. I'm changing my mind based off of what I'm seeing in the polls a little bit. So I figure that I honestly, I usually am really up on this stuff. I don't know enough right now to say who I'm going to vote for. So I am going to educate myself. Probably will get in on one of the early polls later this week.
I know where I'm leaning. I'm leaning for a bit more for a sensible government that takes care of the things that's needed. In a city. We need our infrastructure to be headed in the right direction. We need our public safety to be headed in the right direction. And then beyond that, the extras come after that. I'm
good without the extras.
Again, like I said, the extras come if there's anything left for extras. The extras shouldn't be a priority. We're a big city and we have a lot of creativity and private enterprise that's very creative. The extras can come that way too, right? So I don't know. Let's see. Interesting times,
that's all I got for this week. And I think, Chev, we are going to call this a show, but it is going to be a big week. We have no idea if the Jays are going to be in the World Series still next week or not, but it's going to be fun to watch. How are the Oilers looking? The Jets, the Flames. It's going to be kind of exciting to watch week 1 hockey. The Canadian teams, of course, starting up tomorrow night. And I don't think we'll have a new mayor by next week, but I think we're going to be pretty close to an election. So, guys, just once again, thanks for joining us here on The Ride. It's always a fun, great chatter tonight. Loved your comments. I'm definitely going to look up more of the Mark, what's his name story. Apparently, it's a story of substance abuse and tragedy. So,
Mark Sanchez?
Mark Sanchez. No. The movie you're watching.
Mark Kerr, The Smashing Machine.
More the Smashing Machine. So I got to educate myself on the story behind that one too. But guys, thanks for joining us tonight. We love you all. We appreciate you guys being here, and we'll see you all again next week.